Yo, what's up? It's the world famous DJ The Smooth. Make sure y'all tune in and subscribe to the MFL broadcast with the Lake City legend, the one and only PF Famous.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wanna fight was, man, like, when you talk about, like, life-changing career, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've always tried to do music, and we've always, you know, we were doing a bunch of stuff. We were doing talent shows. Like, I've been doing this way back, like, back when MC Hammer was popular, and we had the Hammer Pants, and we would be at the show, at the talent shows, and... Finally got the homie in here with me, man. You already know what it is. Take that ticket in the building with us, man. What's good?
You already know what to do, fam.
Man, we talking that Wanna Fight talk, man. Wanna Fight Chronicles. Yeah. Finally telling our story. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. And speaking of telling our story, bro. Like, let's go back, man. Like I've been talking my talk, and you know how we got started and all that kind of stuff. But right there in the 80s, we was, man, start talk. Give me that fellow Strictly Business, like, you know what I'm saying, from the gate talk, man.
From the gate. I remember me, from my point of view.
Fact.
I remember meeting you, I think it was the 6th grade.
Fact.
And it was a talent show. I didn't know you.
Right.
But I remember you on the stage, and I forget who was performing with you.
Ro.
Ro, yeah.
Ro
yeah, I
Beatbox.
knew you through Ro. That's right.
That's right.
I knew you through Ro.
That's right.
Ro's my friend.
That's right.
So, he kind of put us together.
Right.
And I remember, fast forward in 7th grade.
Right.
Me, you, and Dwayne Rosin.
Fact.
We sitting at the back of
What
the
up, D?
classroom.
Right.
And we all just spitting freestyle.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And then it kind of just formed from there. Johnny was your friend.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Tim was my cousin.
Fact.
Robert was from the quarters with y'all.
Fact.
And we all became the fellas.
Fact.
Hardest thing that ever hit Lake City.
When you talk about making it, like being successful in making it, some people judge it off of the millions and millions of dollars. Me, I address it off the experience. Like, I've definitely been in some situations to where it felt like I was like on top of the world. And the Wanna Fight, I always say Wanna Fight was the record out of Lake City that was huge, but was never huge. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's how I felt about that record. Like, how the record, if we can get into how the record was made and you know what I'm saying, like how it was put together and everything, because where I'm from, that record is a classic. You know what I'm saying? It's a classic record, If I never said I never had a hit, I'd be lying, because I know I had one in my city. If you from Lake City and during that era, it was like 98, 99, 2000, that era, oh my God, it was right when 3 6 Mafia was doing Tear the Club Up, music was changing. You know what I'm saying? Because I come from Florida, the real Florida, Miami-based Florida, where the Two Live Crews and the Loops and the JT Moneys and the, you know what I'm saying, the Half Pints and the Crazy Legs and all those people ruled the clubs where I'm from. And so around 98, 99, you know, Pop the Man came and Death Row and all that kind of stuff. So music was changing and the sound was changing. And how I came up, you know, how I wrote the Wanna Fight was, we used to be in the club, this club called the Elks Club, man. It's a legendary club in Lake City. And if your record, where I'm from, if your record made it in the Elks Club, like if it was able to play, if you was able to play in 2 places, 3 places actually, I'm gonna say 3 places at that time. If you could play it at Richardson Gym, we're in the building with K9 in the building. Yeah, you already know what it is, man. You know what we talking about, man. We talking about the wanna fight thing, man. We talking about the wanna fight era. Yes, you know what I mean? Do you remember that record? And if you remember, Don, what you remember about that record?
Man, I remember it very, very clearly. We used to have dances back in the days at Richardson Gym. It used to be like a big thing for teenagers. Everybody go to the dance after a game on Friday night. So we used to live in a neighborhood called Granger Quarters. Neighborhood, you know, we grew up in. So we'll walk from the quarters all the way to the gym, you know what I'm saying, go to the dances or whatever. But I'll never forget, first time I heard it when I was in the, you know, we in the, you know, trying to holler at, you know, little females or whatever, doing what we do, teenagers. So I remember being on the dance floor, just chilling. We used to be posted up. So when it came on after, I never forget, Ja Rule had a song with Lil Mo. I think it was called Put It On Me.
Put It On Me.
Yeah, Put It On Me. Yep. So Heavy will play that. Right after that, he'll go on to Wanna Fight. And I'm talking about, man, the whole dance floor. I'm talking about people that was sitting on the bleachers. They running from the bleachers on the dance floor.
Now you from the city. You already know. We talking Richardson Gym, right?
Yeah.
Not many records could have done that at the gym. Am I lying?
Nah, man. I'm talking about, because sometimes it'll be like people, like major label artists, they'll have Heavy will play the song, some people go sit down or whatever.
That's right.
Don't really feel it. But when that song came on, I'm talking about the whole gym getting stupid. Everybody going
from the initial Chris Tucker interview, from the Chris Tucker voice.
Yes.
Yeah, used to get lit.
From the gate, they on the floor, popping, dropping, locking, everything you could think of. They going crazy. And I'm talking about, I had that same experience from the gym to when I was in the base station. Like,
thank you.
Everywhere, even at like the little high school parties we used to go to.
Right.
That song come on, everybody going crazy, stupid, dumb.
Dope.
I'm talking about, like, it was a crazy experience, man, to be around during that time, man.
Right.
Especially being from Lake City, I ain't never see like nobody in the area. I'm talking about the whole area.
Right.
Have a song like that go crazy like that.
Right, and still to this day right now, people be tripping if they hear that when the record come. Yeah, man, it was a blessing. So you definitely was around during that time. Like one last thing before I let you get out here. Locally, right? Locally, how many people have dropped records? Or better yet, let me scratch that. Better yet, would you say Wanna Fight is definitely kind of like a hit? That wasn't a major hit. That wasn't like crazy, but definitely where we from. Is that not a classic?
I definitely would. I would say, like, in my opinion, it's the biggest song from a Lake City artist to ever come out of Lake City, because you know right. that opened up a chain of events, because you know that song popped off. Y'all end up meeting 69 Boys, right. Getting signed with 69 Boys. It opened up, even though a lot of people might not say it, but every artist in Lake City, like, it opened up the doors for that, because it opened up the door for me. It inspired me to go and do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Off of seeing what y'all was doing. And anybody who say that it didn't, then they just basically that just hate.
That's hate. You already know how
y'all was the first group in Lake City to ever do something like that. Like, nobody has ever did nothing like that. Shout out to everybody else doing their thing.
Facts. You know right. Definitely shout out to everybody.
Like people like The Thread, Big Ben, you know, all them inspired us as well. But y'all definitely opened up the doors when it comes to that light. Right. Definitely.
Facts. Appreciate it. Wait, when they gonna reach that, man? You already know.
Oh yeah, man. You already know. Holla at your boy K9, aka Playboy 9. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, K9386. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Exotic Kicks online. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is.
And the kids respond to it. If you could play it in the Elks Club or the American Legion, or I'm sorry, last one, base station. If you could play it in any of those spots and it worked, you had a hit. You had a hit. You had a monster. And I worked for years to try to get Heavy, who is like 33 years in the game right now, still DJing, still doing his thing right now.
Famous.
Heavy is amazing. He used to put on the greatest shows to me. Like, I used to be so impressed with the way he controlled the crowd and how he would make a record just go crazy. Like, it was a record like 8 Ball and MJG, a record called Pip 'em All Rhyme. If y'all ever heard that record, it was a great record, but it was nothing like it when Heavy played it. Like, he like made it insane. Lights Off with Lil Wayne. Like, he didn't know what. Listen, he had a. Okay, whatever. Right. Let me get back into the Wanna Fight. So I would be in the club and I would notice that everybody would be thugging in the club. It was a lot of Tupac play, you know, Heavy would play a lot of all that kind of stuff like that. So the only time that they would get turned was Thrill the Player and Jay McGowan and all them. They wrote a song called Dick in Your Life. It was Tin Cans back then. That's the only time, and it started like come on, let me drop, hey, ho. That's the only time I was Nick right now, shoot you and kill you or whatever. When that record played, yeah, everybody's on the floor. So I said, okay, this is what I had to do. This is what I had to do. And I had to figure out a way to thug it out. I want that feel, but I gotta thug it in here. We gotta do it. So, real funny story, my brother, named Charles McCray, shout out to my brother Charles, man, love him to death. Always been a big supporter of mine. He didn't know he was the backbone of that record, man. He was fussing one night about me using his car and all that kind of stuff like that. And I was just like, man, and he was big in the car. He was my older brother, so he was always bigger than me. And I remember being in my room talking to him, I'm like, boy, you want to fight? We could fight. You know what I'm saying? I set it off right. You know, and then like I was like, you know what? And I just bought, I just got my little piece of pistol. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of turned about that. And I was looking under the pillow at my little piece, and I was like, you want to shoot? I'm talking about my brother, which I never shoot me down. But I remember saying it in my head, like, you want to shoot? We can shoot. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a deuce, but I had the 9. And so I was like, I got a 9 and a chrome deuce. And then it hit me, all hit me. Then I ran to the little tape player. We had tape players back then. We had cassette boxes, like, it was cassette, you know what I'm saying? Like tape deck things, whatever, right? So I remember I had the Dick in Your Life tape, which came with the instrumental. It was crazy back then. Appreciate that, Thrill. Appreciate that, y'all. And I played it. And I was so turned, and then the hook started in my head. You wanna fight, motherfucker? Let's fight. And then, so no story short, I communicated with the guys. I went ahead and broke the whole record. Bam, knocked it out, right? So I called Bub. I'm like, Bub, I got us one. I got us one. I'm telling you, I got us one. Which I appreciate that, man. So let's go into this, man. Give me your version of what happened the first night Wanna Fight was debuted, bro. Do you remember that? Do you remember? Take it from the time that I called you and I said, Bub, I got us one. I'm telling you, I got us one. Take me from that moment to the point of us talking to Heavy real quick. I know it's kind of a long story, but we can sum it up real quick. From the time I called you and said, Bub, I got us one. I'm telling you, because we was obsessed with Trigger Man back then. As long as Trigger Man was in it, we already knew. But I told my side of it, tell me how you felt from the time that I called you and said, Bub, I got us one, bro.
From the moment you called me and said, Bub, I got us one, it was like, to me, when you told me the lyrics and I heard the beat, I was like, man, I don't know what this boy on, but he hitting on something.
Mm-hmm. You already know what it is, man. We're here with Katie the Realist. Katie, listen, man. We talking that Wanna Fight talk tonight, man. We talking that Wanna Fight talk tonight. Wanna Fight dropped in 1998, man. How you remember how old you were back then and like what was going on back then in 98?
Hell no. Shit. It was live. It was crunk. There's a lot of shit happening back then.
Because those Right. No.
16, somewhere up in there.
No, thugging with the big boys. Like you like anybody know from 1998. Everybody know if you saw KD in the real spots, the adult spots, the real clubs. So since we talking about Want to Fight, man, let's talk about. Do you remember about the studio session and actually recording the song, man? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. We got up early one morning.
Mm-hmm.
We had been booked the studio time.
That's right.
I remember that. And none of us felt like doing this shit.
It was early. Well, anybody want to go that morning?
We had just did a show the night before in Gainesville.
Listen, talk that talk, Katie. Talk that strictly business talk now.
Crazy, you know. We had a lot of love and a lot of haters, but it was chaotic, and it just had us kind of moody, I guess.
Right.
But that next morning, we jumped up, went on here, went to the studio, knocked out the record. I don't even think we was like, you know, thinking about the record after we recorded.
Right. We wasn't on like one thing I do remember like all of us happy. I remember us being satisfied with what we had done. But all right. So okay. So Bub, like, you know, Bub was always been one thing about Bub. Me and him always clicked on the music tip because he believed in my project. We were bumping heads sometimes, but he always knew how to bring the best out of whatever I did. Let's start from the beginning with you, man.
Yeah.
Like, what made you believe in like me? You know what I'm saying? You always been a big fan of mine. I appreciate that. Like I told everybody else, you were one of the first ones to believe in me and take us to the studio, man. Let's talk about before Want to Fight. I know we're talking about Want to Fight talk, but let's talk before Want to Fight. Like, what made you want to believe in me as much as you did, man, and push me as hard as you did?
Well, to myself, I seen a dude that was spitting rhymes. And I seen one of my homegirls, I seen her brother dancing. But the dude that I heard him spit, and it was just his words. He said, if you don't sweat me, then I won't sweat you.
Man, you remember that, the talent show, man? That was like 88, 89, boy. You remember that talent show?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I do, because it means something to me.
Like the Want to Fight record that people don't know in Lake City is, which I'll get into it, but they don't understand how much power Bub had in that record. Like all the nigga lies, all that kind of crazy stuff that we've been doing. Like Bub had the ad libs that Bub was putting in back then, helped create the whole thing. But I talked to him and I was like, man, we gotta find a studio. So we were doing everything to find a studio, and Bub came across Jerry at damn, not man, Pro Media. Was it Pro Media back then? Anyway, we'll get to that. But so we get there, we meet Jerry. Jerry's cool as a fan. Him and Bub kicking all crazy, right? So and now me and Bub is paying for this. I'm working at like Walmart or something, and he's working at I don't know like 3 jobs or something, you know, whatever. And what I do remember that Tin Cans, I took that record over there with us. And Bud said, and me and Bud had this little running thing that we knew about this guy named Trigger Man. Who, so anyway, we put the record together. I don't want to go so far into it, but we put the record together, put the beat together. We took it back, and we hyped it up even more, right? So I told Bud right before we got back, I wanted to give everybody a part in it. So everybody make sure they had their part in, had their part tight. I told Bud right before we went, I'm like, man, we need to put like a bomb and then drop it like that. Chris Tucker Friday was out, it just dropped. And we took the "You got knocked the fuck out, man," and put it at the front, and then said, set it off, nigga, 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 set it off. And when I tell you, if you've never seen that record, the first time I ever heard, like him say we ever heard, set it off, the whole insane. I felt it. Bub felt it. T felt it. Katie felt it. Ro felt it. Everybody felt it. Everybody knew. Everybody knew that we had one. We had one. If we have nothing else, we had this one. Finally, we get in the studio. All right, we get to the studio. Fast forward. Mm-hmm. We do. Give me your version of what happened. Like the whole Want to Fight era, from the little studio to the aura around us at that time. Like, let's really get into, because like one thing about you is you already know that you're a real nigga. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk that real talk with you, bro. Like even though we had a very successful record at the time. Nobody knows the backdrop of that time frame for real. And you took a brunt of a lot of that. I would say almost most of it. So let's talk about from the time that we in Jerry make the song, hit it to the clubs. Let's talk about that real quick.
I remember when you came to me with the track. You came to me
Right.
and KD. You and Bub had already kind of collaborated.
Talked about it,
When
yeah.
Captain came to it.
Yep.
And you told us we wanted to be on it to write a verse. We had
Right.
just got into the whole rapping.
Rapping
thing.
shit, right.
But the track was hot from off rip. We already loved it.
Right.
I remember we went and recorded it, and then before we can ever even put it in the club, we, which is me, Spoonie, and Spank, was already going through this fighting situation. You
Fact.
feel me?
Fact.
We around here beefing with niggas. Well, they beefing with us for whatever reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we ain't having, you know what I'm saying? So I guess they feel that they testing us from what the song is saying.
Right.
Now remind you, this bitch ain't even dropped really in the club yet. It's just a buzz.
Right. I'm skipping a bunch of stuff, but we got it done at that. We got the record done, and okay, now it's time to Heavy gonna debut it tonight. Now, shout out to Heavy, we're gonna talk to Heavy, Heavy gonna debut it tonight. I'm getting it with my baby mama, something happened, right? Whatever. I don't make it. Now, T, KD, I think Ro was there, and I think Bub was there. So once we get everything together, get everybody party, things hype, all right, we talk about going to the studio and making the record. After the record is done, I got a couple things to talk to you about. But first up, talk about me about the first night, because I wasn't there. I missed the first night, remember? So talk to me about the first night that y'all were in that club and what you remember about that.
Yeah, me and the rest of the squad, me, Spoon and Roll, T, we all went up in there, and you had your thing going on.
That's right.
Boy, your personal
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
all
yeah.
Young Thundercats.
It was all young. So let's fast forward real quick, right? Because I've been telling a story and what I felt like the one fight. Let's talk about your version of the first night that Heavy's like, all right, I'm gonna play it, and you were there, 100%. You were there.
Yeah, I was definitely.
Yeah, 1,000% you were there.
In the club.
Facts.
15,
15, 16. I told, me and Bob had the conversation with someone play it, but we had the conversation of, I told him, I said, no, nigga, you crazy. I know Katie was 15, but Katie was in there. I cannot remember from the time you was probably 12, 13 years old, any spot that we went in, you was there, from strip clubs to at regular clubs to no matter where we was, early.
I was there.
Boy, this is real life facts. All right, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the first time that you remember Heavy playing Wanna Fight in the club. Like the first time you act there, because remember, I wasn't there. So therefore, put me back in that mode. Put me back in that time.
First time Heavy played Wanna Fight, they went crazy.
I gave it the smooth, and I said, hey, yo, this our joint, and don't say our name, because we had a whole lot of niggas hating, because
We had, like Katie said, we had a whole lot of haters, right?
I remember the first night when we got it at L's. I never forget. It was smooth, man. He playing, you know how he do.
Mm-hmm.
He play all his favorites or whatever.
That's right. So, okay, whoa, let me pause real quick. So, we finna talk about the first night that it was played.
Mm-hmm.
Bet. Clear this up for me. Do you remember what time y'all got there? Do you remember around that time?
Yeah, I do. We probably we close to midnight. You know,
right about midnight.
Okay.
And the club was thick, didn't move, and everybody was up in that thing. And I say, smooth, play this joint, just don't say our name, son.
Yo, what's up? This is the World Famous DJ Big Smooth. Wanna Fight? Certified classic. Hands down. From the first beat. Oh, set it off.
Nigga. Set it off, 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 nigga. You wanna fight, motherfucker? Let's fight. True that.
From the you got. Okay, all right, take me back. Kelly, hold on, cause you'll be able to give me the real about this. Okay, whatever record played, you might not remember what record that was played, right? But first, before One Fight. Mm-hmm. So how long from the time y'all got there, walked in, club thick? Mm-hmm. Club thick. How long from the time when y'all walked in there until Heavy actually dropped the record? Do you remember?
it was damn near half the night. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it to be honest, it done got a minute to where I forgot we even gave him the fucking track.
Right.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I never forget. He was playing tear the club up.
Right.
Yeah.
So you thought.
Like
That's
I
what-
say, and you know, no disrespect to Tear the Club because it was the shit. You
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
me?
it was a big record.
But from the level of motherfuckers acting a fool
Mm-hmm.
to when Wanna Fight drop,
That motherfucker was.
you couldn't believe it, dog, unless you was there. You feel me?
And you already know it's hard to make a hit from the hometown for the hometown to approve of you. So, and I'm real hard on my playlist too, man. So, in my book, Wanna Fight, Certified Classic. I promise I ain't gonna talk you to death. Famous.
Okay, tear the club up.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna put that in here because YouTube would snatch me out. But
Yeah.
at the same time, okay, after tear the club go off, you got knock the fuck out, man. Tell me what you saw. Tell me what you saw. When you heard that you got from that moment, because you know that was the beginning of our record. Like, so I need to know. Put me in that mode. Put me in that time frame of you got from tear the club up. Tear the club up to you got knocked the fuck out the first time. Like this is the first time ever in life a majority of people hearing this record.
Yeah.
Please give me that info on what it was like
Time
right
I
after.
dropped in the club, it was an instant hit.
And Katie said it came right after
It
Tear the
came,
Club
after,
Up.
it came after a Crunk song.
Tear the Club
And
Up.
it said,
Oh,
you got, knock the fuck out, man.
Oh, take me there. When you heard and then you saw the crowd reaction, take me there. What was that like?
Instant.
And you saw that, you knew that.
I witnessed it. It was instant. They were standing up on chairs, getting up on tables.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Beating tables. That shit was lit.
Everybody came on the dance floor. I was like this.
Like what?
Like think about.
From the skid to the teeth, from the tear the club.
And you know back then,
And
dog,
it-
they was pushing over chairs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were acting a fucking fool.
Yeah, fool.
But I never forget, you know what I mean? I'm standing around like, damn, they were crazy as fuck. And then all you hear is, you got. And imagine Def Comedy Jam, dog, and Martin Lawrence hit you with one of those fucking punchlines and that bitch blow the fuck up. You feel me?
Explode. That's what they were like.
It was, and they didn't know it was us.
Right.
That's what another trick to it was. They didn't know it was us.
From the reaction that they told me, I was like, they were like, boy, you don't understand. From the shut it off, and I hate to keep going back to that, but when I tell you that's the set off of the record, right? And back then you have to understand where we come from. We come from a group called Strictly Business. I come from an acting group called The Fellas, right? You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this joint since I was 12, 13. You know what I'm saying? I come from a group called The Fellas. I've been doing it a long time. So we transitioned that into a group called Strictly Business who ran our city on the music industry, right? When I talk about we went to Star Search, won 4 nights in a row, got 4 stars, all that. We was on the same thing that's equivalent. When it comes to Star Search, what we was on, it's the equivalent to being on American Idol. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, today, straight up. Real shit. So we went from the Fellas, gain that little, did what we did with that. Fellas transition to Strictly Business. All right, now we Strictly Business. All right, give me a little, just a brief, like look into our Strictly Business world, bro. Like give me like a from the transition of the Fellas to everybody get together. Strictly Business. Now we're a crew to be reckoned with. Now people are paying actual money to go to events because we gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? That time before we had anything on the radio, before we did anything, talk that Wanna Fight. I mean that Strictly Business talk with me real quick.
It speaks for itself. You feel me?
Fact.
When you say Strictly Business, you say the rulers of Lake City when it comes to this music dance game.
That's all fact.
You feel me?
That's
Like,
all facts.
you couldn't have no event, talking about a talent show or a concert or whatever, and not know Strictly Business is coming to shut that bitch down. You
That's
feel me?
facts.
You know what I mean?
That's facts.
And when it comes to Strictly Business, dog, I think we was like the hottest thing to ever come out of Lake City, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like major, like we up, you know what I'm saying, the whole Star Search.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. Real quick, man, because I got to get into this real quick. Let's get into that, man. Let's get into that real quick. I'm just going to tell a little bit of that story if you don't mind real quick, man. I tried to tell them, bro, the things that we've experienced, bam, won a competition to go to Star Search. Star Search, back then, do you remember that feeling back then, like that stage and being back there, man? Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, come on, man.
You already know, like, Star Search was the hottest thing, so when you hear motherfucker like Ed McMahon drop on the TV,
Fact.
you may have already won $10 million.
You got that right. You got what the?
You know
Come
what
on,
I'm saying?
man.
And to be able to shake his hand, dog.
Facts. And like I was saying, that the Star Search back then was equivalent to being on American Idol right now.
Real
and
talk.
winning.
Real
You know
talk.
what I'm saying?
Real
And
talk.
actually winning.
Yeah.
You know. So I missed the first night. Teaching telling me, everybody telling me, "Boy, it was so crazy." Right. Next weekend come by. All right. I'm going. I have not seen the reaction yet. I've not been in the club yet. I ain't seen nothing yet. You know what I mean? We all go in. We all drink. I ain't got a whole lot of money. I probably got like a half a pint because they know we working in Walmart, whatever. But I was already feeling a little good. Heavy. I don't know if this was intentional. I don't know really know what happened that night, but he waited till almost the end of the night. Like I waited. And before I could even go even a little crazy, like, damn, man, ain't gonna never. I hear, you got. And I looked up. And by the time that bitch said, oh, shut it up, I looked out in that crowd, in that Elks, in my city, with me being right there. Everybody hands in the air, the whole club. Everybody hands in the air. Everybody singing word for word since it's the second weekend that we dropped this record. Hey, Katie, let's talk real one more time, just so the industry understand what it is. That's why I asked you, my original first question was, how old were you in '98? Because they don't understand that you were 15, 16 years old, my nigga. And one little thing that I want to get into before we get out of here, two things actually, but the first thing I want to get into is that time. Remember, you 15, 16, 14, 15, 16. Let me tell you about those times.
17, maybe.
But okay, well, remember these times, Katie. Remember 14, 15, 16, 17 in your life. Remember when the Wanna Fight record dropped. Tell me the truth about the mood of our group back then. Did niggas not want to put hands on us and kill us? And what you was going through as the Wanna Fight record was gaining momentum, as it was getting stronger and stronger? Please tell me what y'all were going through. Like, and I say y'all. The only reason I say y'all because y'all like took a blunt of the whole situation, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you don't mind, give me 2 minutes of that, man.
We see. I was in school when the shit dropped, so, and the shit was on the radio.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
So you were in school at the high? Were you in the high school?
High school, yeah, I was in high school.
Man, that's crazy.
I was in high school with a #1 hit on the radio.
Talk that talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk that talk, Katie.
So everything kind of changed instantly from that moment, as opposed to Strictly Business, shout out Strictly Business.
Because we were doing our thing, but the Wanna Fight record.
You know, conquered the city, but when that record dropped, it gave people a different perspective of us that we really do.
What up, man? It's your boy 10 Sack, man. Straight out the dirty west side of Lake City, Florida. Check it out. Wanna Fight, big record. It definitely had you jumping from the takeoff. It's a classic, for sure. I can't think if Heavy played that motherfucker enough, or the radio stations, and it was all over the mainstream of clubs and shit, man. So actually, I was in the club, Gainesville, Florida, Deja Vu, and Brother Marquise from the 2 Live crew came through, and you know, everybody in the bitch vibing, chilling. You know, I got a few drinks in me, just mobbing, and that record came on, man. God damn. Just fucked up everything, bro. Chaos everywhere. People acting a donkey. So, you know, it was a good record, man. I think they ought to do another verse to that, man. Another spin off of that. If they don't, I probably will. Slate the Pimp, don't get mad at me, man, but I'm just talking, man. Good record, man. One of the classics, definitely going down. Definitely went down as a #1 banger. You guys really changed the game. Back then, man, we was just doing talent shows and shit, man. I can remember you guys beat me actually in a talent show. So I sat up in my mind, I said, well, I'm gonna beat their ass on this record scene, you know. Putting me a joint out so hard, man. That joint was called Run, you know, and it was street, you know, it was for streets. But when like I said, I heard Wanna Fight on the radio, and it had a more up-tempo beat. So it was really for the street and the club. So you can get away with both ways, you know. So you know, mine was just really for the street. But so I ended up putting mine down back just a little bit, you know. Not much, but just a little bit. I had to let that shit get on out the air. But it's definitely a classic song, man. Wanna Fight, bro. Definitely a big banger, man. One of my favorites. And you know, those guys, man, when they was doing that song, I don't think they knew how ahead of time they were at that time, you know. Shucks, I don't think nobody was ready for that. But when it dropped, bro, it dropped. They did some numbers with that one. And congratulations to you guys, man. I know it's an anniversary or something with that motherfucker. So it need to be, you know. However, actually those guys went on tour with me probably in 2010, a Street Fight tour. And I really was hoping they would have brought that song back. But I'm kind of glad they didn't, because shit, the club, I wouldn't have been able to perform because they would have emptied the club with that song. You know, that shit would have ran everybody out of there, because motherfuckers would have been fighting and throwing bottles and shit and fucking up my shit, you know. But anyway, man, y'all did your thing. You did your thing with that. Shouts out to y'all, salute you, you know. So, one love, man. 10 Sack. Signing out, bro.
Set it off, nigga. Set it off, nigga. I'm talking about like from your standpoint, looking back at, we talking Elks Club. We talking like I had said earlier, and let me know if I was wrong about that. I feel like back then, if you could play a record in the Elks, the Gym, the Legion,
you made
or the Bass, you made it.
You made it, yeah.
You made it.
Right
You
here.
know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Right here.
And what a lot of people ain't know is, that's why I say you can't talk to me about not making it, bro. Like, that was our kind of goal at that time.
Yeah.
Our goal was to have a hit in our city. You know?
And if you from Lake City, you already know you got the motherfucking brain for Lake City to give you any kind of fucking credit. It's stars. I ain't gonna say none of your names that done came here.
That's
you
real.
got shut the fuck down.
That's
so,
real.
You feel me? With that being said, Wanna Fight, dog. Like I say, right here, we made it.
Oh my God. Oh my God, there was a place in Lake City. Shout out to April. April, I love you to death. Always have, always will. Shout out to April, man. She ran this place. She was the manager at the place called the Sound Shop. She gave us the opportunity to put the record in there. The record sold out so quick. So quick, man. So quick. And and the record, like if the record, you have to know how the record set up, right? The record set up in the verses of if you want to fight, we can fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell about your girl, you know, whatever, right? And then at the end of the record, we was dancing. We come from that. I come from that life. I come from the Miami Bass, real like competition dance, like what we take. I come from that life. So at the end of the record, we still thugging. But remember, I'm thugging, but I also got this trigger man in there. So therefore, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take him back to dance again at the end. So therefore, Bug Combs only talk his mess. I say, Bug, look, man, repent it, but you talk your drunk. You get in there. Real niggas do what they supposed to. But a real nigga, we do what we supposed to do. And your Slick tell him the deal, dog. So when he say that, I go back into strictly business, man. And what felt so good that we had worked so hard to get the respect and to get everything and to see everybody on one concord back in our word. Break it down for me. 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 Y'all my niggas. Break it down for me. I'll break it down for me. I'll break it down for me. A big dog. Do you know that nigga real? Do you know how many niggas want to be called out doing that record? What is your biggest Wanna Fight memory? Like, what do you remember the most? Like, oh my God, that shit happened when Wanna Fight, dropped and we was going through that.
Nigga got shot in the club.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me that story, man.
When Heavy played the record, shot to Heavy.
That's right.
The nigga got so hyped, he pulled his gun out, representing the song, and shot his homeboy in the foot by by accident, just reaction. You know what I'm saying? You know.
So you mean to tell me the record that we put together? Hold on, Katie. Don't do me like this now. Hold on, pause. You mean to tell me the record that we put together, the nigga was so turned that he pulled out his gun on, oh, you want to fight,
That bitch
motherfucker?
say you want to shoot,
Motherfucker, let's shoot. I got the 9 in the chrome dude. He shot. And by accident, he hit his homeboy.
Yeah, everything was cool. You know, they actually laughed the shit off, but that was the crazy
That
shit
was the
I saw,
crazy.
because I was like, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 feet away from all this. I actually forgot. Yeah, I actually forgot about this.
No, that's real. Like that's it. That's one of his favorite memories. Like out of everything, like
I remember, I know what you're talking about, you know what I mean?
yeah, you was there that night.
Yeah, I was there that night, you know what I mean?
What was it off the? Can you say by the time it went around to the you got down in the chrome dude pop pop. The nigga done pulled his gun out.
And what it was, like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say no names in there.
Is that damn right? Yeah.
But to clear it up, it wasn't on a hurt somebody
On
type
the beef.
shit, you know
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
wasn't on
saying?
no beef.
So I don't want nobody thinking that want to fight made this shit be a problem.
Right.
It was more of a, one person got excited, he shot, and for Ricker Fire, hit his own friend foot. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that did come from one fight.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. The turntness of the. Come on, man.
Yeah. So wasn't nobody trying to hurt nobody, no shit like that. You know what I mean?
And to be around at that time, you got to know to be able to look out at the elks, everybody hands in the air, and even after the fact, like say when they gave the record the heavy, y'all was like, don't tell nobody who it is.
Don't tell nobody who it is.
Just drop it.
You know?
And so by the time I got to the club to see it, everybody knew it was us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was still the same response.
We was celebrities then.
Yeah. So everybody goes crazy. The reaction is great at the time.
Right.
As you know, to fast forward everything, we ended up going to the sound shop.
We did.
Shout out to Carlos for putting that
Yeah,
funds up for us.
Lucky put it on there.
Putting the funds up for us. We sold out the sound shop.
Yeah.
Me and you linked up a situation with the radio station. Shout out to Darryl D.
Darryl D and
Showtime at the time.
Showbiz.
We ended up having the #1 record on that station at the time,
We did.
which was huge. So give me your, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Cause like I was talking now about, man. Like I feel like that was one of the biggest records out of Lake City that didn't never really blow up worldwide. Wanna Fight led us to Thrill.
Yes, sir.
We were able to open for Cannabis, Craig Mack, 3-6 Mafia. We did a bunch of shows with Thrill.
Yeah, so when you say Wanna Fight record, to me, it takes me back to memories of straight 38 Hot. It was a 4-man crew at the time, as I remember. Pierre, Bub, K. Alt, and gosh, man, the fourth name slips me, but it was a hot 4-man crew. Disco and the City Boys did a lot of shows, and they opened up at a show in Orlando. I was in the building hanging out with the crew. Man, the energy from the record came on, their energy was on point. And I knew I wanted to sign them, I knew I wanted to work with them. So at the time I had Fat Albert Records, which turned into Home Base Records, which turned into Responsible Recordings. But long story short, the record Wanna Fight was that record, and I wanted to sign them off the strength of that record after seeing their performance with Disco, and at the show that Disco did, invite them to Gainesville the next week to a show that we had, and the relationship was formed and kicked off. We put some records together after that, but just the whole Wanna Fight movement they was the first group that I signed to my label
on the strength of watching them perform that record and the energy they had and brought to the venue that night while performing that record.
Lil Jon wanted to remix the record.
Everything.
Yeah, we did a bunch of stuff. We was at the Hard Knock Life tour with Jay-Z.
Jigga Man,
at the
Method
Shot
Man.
Down and had a drink with DMX at the time, remember?
Yeah.
At the, you know what I mean? What do you guys doing? Hey, you got, this is all real life. This is all real life stuff that happened to us through the Wanna Fight. So imagine this. I felt like it did enough for us to live the life that we lived and did what we did and have the memories that we have. Right. But it didn't do so much to where it destroyed us. It didn't do it, like at the time, God do everything for a reason. You already know that. If we were supposed to make $1 million, I probably would have been with a Filipino hooker in Tijuana right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's that bitch name?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Wanna Fight did that for us. But let me ask you this question. Sir. Can you look back over all the Wanna Fight? Now we have, you and I, bro. Shout out to Ed, shout out to Gerald.
Hey,
the whole home base, that whole situation, right?
Right.
We have a lot of fucking memories, bro, because Wanna Fight started all that for us. What is your greatest Wanna Fight memory at this moment, if you can remember? Take your time.
My greatest Big Book, B.I.G. B.U.B.
B.U.B.
Greatest
B.I.G. B.U.B.
Baby.
Yeah.
My
Big Bro
greatest
representing Big Baby. All right, go ahead, I'm sorry.
My greatest Wanna Fight memory is making beats, putting down the tracks, and watching my boy behind that microphone.
Man, you can't never say I never had a hit. No, I wouldn't have that. I had that. Like those were some of the times to where we can really look back and be like, we know that feeling of having your record on repeat. You know, like right now, it's still a hood. Like to know that I wrote a hood classic. You know what I'm saying? To know that what we did, what we represented, was still alive today. You play that record. I tell you what, if there's any way you were alive in '98 and I was able to play that record right now in Lake City or around the Lake City area, watch the response. So and shout out to Carlos Wilson, right? Shout out to Los, man, because Los also was the first that I had ever heard of a supporter, like a financial backer. You know what I mean? Los was actually gave us was the first person to give us the money. He liked the record so much. He always liked the record. He still loved that record. And he was the first one that I ever did not, like I knew it, but I know him like that to really be able just to sit down and see the confidence in his eyes that he knew that was a great record. And he didn't even, you know, like I kind of felt like, you know, a little low to have to go to somebody, but that's what they like. Low like the record, man. Talk to Low, he cool. And we talked to him, and next thing you know, we putting the records in the sound shop. We got the actual, it was cassettes back then. It was cassettes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, it was cassettes. You know what I'm saying? But we sold out. And to have that on my record saying I made it, bro. Like you can't never tell me I ain't made it.
I actually remember, like once we got the shit in the sound shop and all that, I would have people come up to me, and white people, like I never even fucking seen,
right,
asking for my autograph and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I need to ask you for $5 tacos.
No, like 9 told us, I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you. 9 was telling me stories about the like house parties and different things like that. Chuck, Paramount King, Chuck Martin, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Man, he lived off of those stories about how they partied and all. One thing I can say, bro, like we had a hell of a run with it, man. And let's fast forward to 2021 real quick. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Take That Tick. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about, I'm trying to tell you, let's talk about who Take That Tick is. How can we find you these days? Like, what are you working on these days? Like any definitely shout outs you want to give, like any last thoughts about the whole situation?
Most definitely. I mean, first of all, you can find me, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm even on Twitter. I don't really like to use that shit. So if you tweet me some shit and I don't, you know what I mean? So one time I thought I was tweeting T.I. and I was following an old ass white lady. But yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, man, shots out if you will give her a motherfucking camo, my wife, you know what I'm saying? Junk Food Junkies, Dread Shack, you know what I mean?
We'll put the flyers and everything up. You know we gonna put
She is definitely the future. Y'all motherfuckers better tune into her. I'm trying to tell you, don't sleep on her because she is the new era. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Then I got my son, man, RPV Vaughn.
Bam, bam,
You know what I
bam.
mean? That's where more of my focus at.
Don't sue me, but I'm gonna put the song right there.
You know what I mean? He the new upcoming thing, man. Y'all look out for him. RPV Vaughn. You can find him on SoundCloud as well, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that shit. You know what I mean? But I got some shit I'm working on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Some old Take That Teak projects. I just ain't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we're gonna put some things into major action.
But you,
Like-
you can definitely look for your boy in 2021. I promise you that.
Man, tell us about KD 2021. Tell us about KD, where you at right now, what you got going on right now, and how they can find you right now.
Well, everything is KD the Realist. KDDAREALIST. You heard me?
Talk that talk.
KD the Realist. You can Google it, you can tweet it, you can snap it, you can Facebook it, you can
Fact.
gram it, you
Fact.
can reverb it, you can, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
All that there, do that. But right now, I got my hands in so much. I'm working on a movie,
Mm-hmm.
you know, working on another, probably another EP. Or I'm gonna drop a few more singles or something like that. I don't know. Y'all make sure y'all fuck with me and stay tuned in. Shit. Got this label records. Looking for new artists. You know, young talent, niggas doing their thing. The next to blow. I got my eyes on you, you know. Trust. And shit, we just gonna keep grinding.
Facts.
Grind till it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I feel amazing, and we got a whole segment like this called "I Got Some Stories," man. And this is the Wanna Fight Chronicles. And if you from Lake City, you know about Lake City, and you ever heard of Record Wanna Fight, then you already know. Which I want to say Ro was sick or something. The only reason Ro wasn't on the original record, he definitely was on the radio version. He wasn't on the original version because he was sick or something, right? Like I can't remember. His kids or something was going on at that time. The only reason, because Ro was definitely down, he was definitely in the crew. The only reason he's not on the original record is because something was going on at that time in that situation. But we definitely brought him back on the radio version, which did amazing. The only thing we didn't know the business part of it, and I'm not even worried about the business part of it now. We had a great time. It was an amazing situation, and it is what it is. But I would definitely say Wanna Fight is definitely, when it comes to Lake City, Florida, is the #1 record to blow up that never really blew up. And that's my take on Wanna Fight. Lake City, let's love.